Hello from Quebec. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hi from Canada, hi from Quebec. I know it sounds crazy, but here I am, May 12, 2023. I finally made it to Quebec. I am Quebec City right now. I will be going to Montreal in a few days. I'm doing 2 cities for this trip, which I think it's amazing. I'm very excited. So I arrived yesterday around 5, actually at 5 o'clock I arrived here, 5 p.m. I had a very smooth trip, even though the whole thing was completely hectic. Living Paris, before even leaving Paris, with all the riots and stuff going on, the airport, they canceled a lot of flights and all, and I was like, when am I gonna leave? It was very hectic, but I ended up leaving at like 4 a.m. from my parents' house on a Thursday, took the plane, took a flight at 9.
Montréal. Il fait plaisir de servir en français et en anglais. Encore quelques minutes avant notre heure de départ prévue, le temps de compléter les préparatifs pré-vol. Nous allons donc partir sous peu instants, vous asseoir bien confortablement, vous détendre, donc vous continuez ce vol sur les îles du Canada.
In Montreal, you say, my flight for Quebec was cancelled, but fortunately I was put into the flight right away, and I mean, yeah, it was kind of hectic, but the dates went really smoothly, and I was glad. Even the customs, I was really afraid of the customs, but it went smoothly. They're no joke though. They checked my passport and my boarding pass like 5 times. It's like, he just checked it. Yeah, it's outside. I'm just gonna check it again. And then 50 meters later, another guy was here to check it when I was going from a terminal to another one, from gate to another one. They're no joke. They really check everything, which is great. Anyway, I'm here to visit, I'm here to explore, obviously. It's the definition of my life, exploring the world. But it's not my actual big camera. I didn't bring all my FrenchTastic equipments. I will film, but this trip is really kind of for me. Just for me in discovering this city, this country. I will stay in only 2 cities. I don't have any plans. It will be very spontaneous. I have like a few things I want to do, I want to see, poutine, that I'm gonna eat, really a real one, stuff like that. But it would be very like spontaneous, and just we're gonna go with the flow. So far people have been very kind, as you know, with the first bonjour. People know I'm French, they do, so they say bonjour with a very nice smile, and they say welcome. Very nice people here, like wow. I was a little afraid that being French, wouldn't be a good thing for whatever reason. I guess I heard too many things, but so far people have been like very like, oh you're French, cool, welcome. So they've been very nice. The language is very interesting. I thought I will have a hard time a little bit, the accent isn't that hard for me. For whatever reason, I really thought I will have a harder time understanding people talking, which has been the case yesterday, yeah. But just at a store, but beside that time, I don't really hear it. I do actually, but it's more like they use words that we don't use in France, or we use different words, and I love it because I'm learning new words that are French but that I don't know, and I think it's just so much fun. I'm like, oh wow, you use that. Like, for example, instead of housekeeper, they have another word here that my dad told me we actually use in French, but I've never heard it. And for night, they say another way. And this morning I was watching TV, and instead of saying Boston, we say Boston in French. Yeah, we do. And here you say Boston. And I'm like, that is so cool, and I'm loving it. So yeah, I can't wait. It's only 8:30, yeah, almost 8:30 this morning. So I don't know what's open, what's not. I know in the States a lot of things are open very early. I know we're still in North America, but it's a different country, so I don't know if they do things like in France when everything opens super late in the morning. So I'm gonna see. Anyway, I'm super excited. I'll bring you along with me. Some of you guys have been waiting for me to be here as a French, so yeah, of course I will finish getting ready and I'll see you outside. I gotta share with you guys my first impressions of Quebec City itself. I found it, the first thing I thought was, it is very pretty, very clean, and very charismatic. I like this medley of how like old the buildings are, and how there is this like a very modern vibe out of that town. I mean, it's a medley of both that I enjoyed. The vibe was really like people are very laid back. It feels like you're in the, you know, in one of those small villages in south of France, and I loved it. So the first thing I found was a Christmas shop. So during May, going to a Christmas shop might sound weird, but it was just so cool. And I think it was my first time actually going into a real big Christmas shop like that one. That was so nice. That was cool. So one of the first thing I decided to do was do a tour of the citadel. I have no idea how you pronounce this word exactly. So let's check that. Because nowadays still, the citadel is used by the army.
Citadel.
All right. And so you can't enter like that. You have to be part of a tour with someone. So I decided to take the French tour because of the accent, because I wanted to hear more of the accent for some time. So I had a tour with a really nice woman. We were a few other French people and Quebec people too. And it was very interesting. We were able to enter some really nice buildings, and obviously learned a lot about the history and all that. And I mean, you know, it's on top of the little hill, I guess, that kind of, you know, surround everything else, or the whole city. So obviously during the war and all that, it was in battles and all, it was a key point, I guess. So a lot of things happened there, and a lot of history took place there. So it was very interesting to learn about that. And the guide, I mean, she was really sweet, and you could see that she loved and she was passionate about all that. So it really adds something, obviously, to the whole tour. We had something really nice at the end of the tour. Each day, every day, if I understood well, every day at noon, they shoot a cannonball, but not a real one. So we say a blanc, I guess. Maybe that's the same word, I don't know. But it does the same sound, and we ended up the tour around, I don't know, 11:55, something like that. So we had like 5 minutes just to wait for that. So it was the perfect time, and it was, let me tell you, terrific in every way. I mean, it was, the sound was so loud. You know, seeing that from that close by was amazing. I loved it. It was the perfect end of the tour. After, you know, all the history you learn, all the things you see, then you have like a Canon shot. It is really, really cool. Then I decided to go downtown. I mean, I was already downtown, and to just visit around, and that was my first real, how to say that, yeah, real walk around the city, because it was a day after I arrived, and I arrived pretty late the day before, so it was my first real day. And yeah, I just loved it. I mean, it's a lovely city. It's not too big, but it's not too small, and you got things to do, things to visit, and it's just, yeah, it's just a very pretty city. And you have like Canon everywhere, kind of, you know, around the city. I think you say Canon, right? Yeah, Canon maybe. And what else? So it's very hilly, so it's great for your workout, definitely. You can do almost everything by foot, honestly. There are buses and all, but if you stay around the downtown, which, you know, already has like many things to do, you can do everything by foot, which is great. And obviously the first day I saw like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 Mustangs. I was just so happy. I was like, this is it, Mary. This is for you. You know, I was really happy. They also do protests in Canada. Look at that. We're not the only one in France. I think what I loved, my first impression was, you know, how great the city is, because it's on a, like, you know, it's pretty hilly, so it's great. You have different kind of landscapes. And then I love the fact that the river, you know, is just at the end of that hill, that big hill at least, and you got boats and all, and it adds, I mean, I love all those kind of machines, like motorcycle and cars, nice cars, and boats and planes, and when you have all that in the same environment, I found it's like, wow, you know, so cool to be able to see all that. So I was able to like big boats and stuff like that, and that was cool. And also, oh yeah, they had like an Italian military like warship, and you could like do a tour, but there were a lot of people waiting for that, and I was just at the beginning of my private, you know, tour of the city, so I decided not to go. And the day after that they were still there, but I didn't do it. I mean, I've already been on different warship. It was an Italian one though, so it would have been nice to go in, especially the crew was there. But yeah, I mean, it was crowded and I guess I was tired. But above all of that, it was, wow, it was a really nice first day and a really nice first impression. People were nice and all. And yeah, I think I even tried I think the first day I tried poutine and I did not like it. I mean, it was good, but the one that I got in Toronto, which apparently was not a poutine, I loved better. So whatever. But I mean, at least I tried and that was cool. But the staff were nice and the restaurant I went to was really cool too. So I had a good experience even though I did not really enjoy the poutine, but it doesn't really matter as long as I had a great experience. So that's cool because the next video it's gonna be like more of all that. That's all for the first video of my Canadian trip, my solo trip to Quebec City, and then Rio. You're gonna see that after later. But I'm glad we're finally starting this series. And yeah, so I will see you in a few days for this episode 2 of the series, and that's all. Thank you very much for watching. Tell me what you thought of this video, and if you've been to Quebec City, tell me what you thought of that city. What were your first impressions? And yeah, I've got a lot of things to say. Like I have a list of things that had surprised me and all, but I will do a separate video of that later. And I think I mentioned some of those things, in different videos that I filmed throughout the whole trip. So I don't want to say everything at once. So yeah, that's all. And oh yeah, so many things that I'm gonna share with you guys. It's great. All my patrons, they know where I've been to, what I did, because I've been sharing pictures of everything on my stories on my Patreon. But you guys will know that in the next few weeks. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.